After years of being disappointed with the GTA Definitive Edition for not reaching the expectations we wanted despite the $60 price tag and pretty much giving us a poor, buggy reskin of the original games, things have now changed. It might be finally worth playing it, and here is why. So what has changed? So to be brutally honest, on console and PC, it hasn't really changed much apart from the price, which is one good factor at least. And sadly, playing it now feels almost the exact same as playing it back when it first released, aka a very disappointing and lackluster experience, and it feels like our PCs and consoles are only using 40% of their horsepower to run it. If more time was spent on these ports, it could have been bloody amazing and could have filled the void in between GTA 5 and GTA 6. But where things get interesting, recently it was announced that GTA San Andreas, Vice City and GTA 3 would be on mobile via Netflix, and I didn't really think much of it as I kind of expected it to be the Definitive Edition on console but a whole lot worse. But after seeing quite a lot of good feedback about it, I decided to give it a go, as it literally costs nothing if you do have Netflix, and I was actually quite surprised. So how good is it on mobile? Is it worth playing? Never would I think a device such as a phone would be able to power the legendary game which was GTA San Andreas back in the day on PS2, for God's sake. I would never have thought I could play this game on my mobile phone with slightly better visuals and less bugs. Cut all the bollocks aside, should you get it? So first off, loading screens are almost instant, so there's no pissing about when you're on your phone, which I think is quite important in mobile games. And when you do load it up, it actually looks quite impressive. I was shocked at this. Now what you do have to consider, on screen you are seeing gameplay of it, and it doesn't look as great on the YouTube video. When the game is in your hands, on a phone, it looks massively better. I don't know why, but you have to trust me on this. It looks so much better. So if you're looking at this video thinking, it kind of looks a bit shit on mobile, it doesn't. As long as you aren't still using your mum's smeggy, piss-smelling iPhone 4, it's going to look very good thanks to how powerful phones are these days. And if you're wondering what phone I have, I do have the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and it runs really well and it looks amazing in person. So how does it actually play? It's quite stable in terms of FPS, and there is definitely less bugs compared to the console version when it first released. Literally the only downside to playing this, I personally think, is the controls. They do feel a bit clunky, but then again, you are playing on a phone and the controls can only do so much. If you do play mobile games a lot, you might not find the controls bad, but I don't really play them very often, so for me, it did take a bit of getting used to. Apart from that, it's actually shockingly good and amazing that you can play this legendary classic game anywhere on your phone. If you're taking a shit in your nan's hellhole of a toilet, whip your phone out and start caning down the street in San Andreas. I never thought I'd be able to do that. One thing I do have to mention though, as I have to be brutally honest in these videos, when you do start driving around in it, you can notice the FPS drops, which I guess is something that's just going to happen. You never see it on foot, but when you start driving at high speed, I did notice a few FPS drops, which wasn't too bad considering I don't really mind it. It's not like we're playing on a PC here, but I just thought I'd mention it anyway. So if you have a less powerful phone, this could be worse as well. But it doesn't take anything away from how good this game is, especially when you compare it to how bad the Definitive Edition was on console and PC when it got released. So I think the most important thing about this, it won't cost $60 to play all 3 games. If you have Netflix, it's technically free, so essentially it's a no-brainer, and I highly recommend checking it out. And don't get me wrong, if they did focus more on the way the game looked on PC and console, I think people would have liked it a lot more. It was just the fact that it was literally just a reskin with more bugs than the original game somehow, along with the massive price tag. It just didn't go down very well. At least now we have a mobile port that's surprisingly good, and in my opinion, it's truly the only version of the GTA Definitive Edition that is worth playing, unless you get it really cheap on console or PC. Definitely check this out, guys, and do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to see them, and whether you've played this yet or not. And do you remember playing Sleeping Dogs back in the day? This game was also legendary. If you would like to see how it holds up in 2023, 2023 and whether it's worth playing or not, just go ahead and click the card on screen now to check out that video, as I found this game was severely underrated at the time. Thank you guys for watching as always, and have a great rest of your day.